If you're a new entrepreneur looking to launch your first supplement brand or a seasoned founder expanding into a new supplements category, you've got a choice to make. The choice that can either set you up to make millions of dollars or kill your brand or the new product launch before it even starts. So that choice is between going white label or custom formula. This video is going to go through the differences. I'll break down the pros and the cons, and then most importantly, how to know which path is going to be right for you. Show on myself, if you haven't seen any of my videos in the past, my name is Daniel Lindsey. I'm currently the general manager of on-demand fulfillment, but in my past, I have started multiple e-commerce brands from scratch, scaled them to multiple seven figures, and eventually sold them. And while that experience really changed my life, it has also allowed me to help other entrepreneurs start to do the same thing. So now here at On-Demand Fulfillment, we focus on giving brands the tools to start their businesses from scratch and turn them into seven-figure brands as well. If you're serious about building a real e-commerce brand in the supplement space, you're in the right place. This channel is about cutting through the noise, and I'm going to do the best I can to show you kind of step by step the processes that you can take and give you some insights into this industry. So hope you enjoy the videos, and let's jump right into it. So the core dilemma here between private label or white label and custom formula is, which one do I go with, right? When you're starting a supplement brand, these are the two options that you have. So on the surface, both of these options sound pretty appealing. On one hand, your white label or private label is really fast and cheaper sometimes because you don't have as high of minimums, but the custom formula is premium and unique, and it gives your brand that angle that nobody else has. But the truth is, they come with very different risks, rewards, and the timelines to get your brand launched is very different between these two different options. So you pick the right one, you set a solid foundation for your brand, but if you pick the wrong one, then you're gonna end up stuck with physical products that you can't sell, right? Maybe stuck in your garage, your basement, a storage unit. And believe me, I still have a storage unit full of probably $100,000 worth of products that I'm hoping someday to sell, but I picked the wrong one, right? So there's definitely a risk there. Here's what we're gonna go do first. I'll walk you through what white label or private label actually means in just real plain basic terms, and then we'll break down what custom formulas look like. So after that, I can then show you kind of a side-by-side comparison, and you can figure out what's going to be best for you right now. So let's jump into white label. The easiest way to think about this is, imagine walking into Costco, buying a giant box of cookies, pouring them into your own jar, and slapping your label on it. That's white label. The formula's already made, right? So in supplements, it works the same way. You take a formula that's already been created, maybe it's a multivitamin or a whey protein or omega fish oil, and you sell it under your own brand. This manufacturer that you're buying from has already done a lot of the heavy lifting with the sourcing the ingredients, testing the formula, making sure it's compliant, making sure the label's all FDA compliant. So all you really need to do is focus on the branding and the marketing, which is a very important and crucial part. And that's a big reason why people love this option. So it's a lot cheaper to get started. You're not paying for the research and development. You don't need tens of thousands of dollars. You can get going with a few $1,000s typically. It's also fast, right? So in fact, with white label, you can often have a product ready to sell in under 30 days. And that's huge if you're eager to start testing a market and building that momentum quickly when there's something trending you want to jump on. And it's lower risk because these are formulas that have already been tested and proven at scale. They're typically long-term best sellers for the manufacturer that has them in stock or ready to go. Now, the obvious downside is you're not the only one selling that product. Other brands might be selling that exact same formula with their label on it, which means you're going to have to compete on a story and a target audience and like the branding angle, not so much on what's inside it. So you don't get the flexibility on the ingredients. The dosages you can sometimes kind of play with to make your product stand out, but it's what's in that catalog with a private label is what you get. But here's where some smart entrepreneurs can really flip that con into an angle which doesn't make it that big of a deal, because differentiation in the market doesn't only come from a formula, it comes from how you position it. So think about protein powder, right? Dozens of brands are basically selling the same formula. They're gonna have little tweaks sometimes, but it's whey, flavoring, maybe some sweetener, but one brand frames it as an ultimate muscle building fuel for athletes, while another markets it as a convenient, healthy snack for busy moms. But it's the same formula. And by doing that, they're able to sell the same powder to two completely different and unique markets. And even your packaging can really set you apart. I've seen founders take like a standard gummy supplement and stand out just by making the labeling look really unique, and maybe potentially offering a 3 gummy dose instead of a 2 gummy dose. So it goes from a 30-day supply to a 20-day supply, but you have a higher dosage, and it's that same stock formula now looking unique, or that same private label formula, but you have a unique angle on it. In essence, white label or private label doesn't mean boring. It just means your edge comes from how well you can tell the story, how you design your product, and how you connect it to your customer and market it to them. And that's why I usually recommend white label or private label to first-time founders, because it's kind of a little bit of training wheels to get yourself into the supplement market, learn what your target audience wants, and build up your brand without as much risk. You learn those ropes without betting all of your capital on that one custom formula that you hope is going to be the next big thing. Now let's jump into a custom formula and what that is exactly. So this is when you're not just putting your label on a bottle, you're actually creating the formula from scratch. You can work with the manufacturer's R&D team to decide on the ingredients in it, the dosages, the delivery method, meaning like is it a liquid form, a powder form, a capsule form. Think of it like designing your own cookie recipe. Instead of buying the box from Costco, you write the recipe, hand it to the bakery, and they bake it for you. Nobody else would have that exact recipe ideally. It's just yours exactly how you want it. And that's the power of custom formulas. The formula itself becomes part of your brand identity. You have that unique intellectual property and unique distinction from the other brands, and you're able to do that specific thing. For example, look at Seed. It's a probiotic brand, but probiotics aren't new. But Seed was able to build a proprietary 2-in-1 capsule where it has probiotics on the inside and prebiotics on the outside. So it's the same category as a dozen other gut health brands, but their custom formulation and their delivery method with the 2-piece capsule is something unique, and it's science-backed, and it allows them to market it as something that nobody else offers. And that can be enough to make someone at least try your product initially, and then you have to stand behind it and have a good quality product. So custom formulas are great, right? You can make something really cool, really unique, but it does have some catches to it. So these custom formulas take a lot of time and money to develop. You have to work with the manufacturer to create and then test the product, go through stability checks, and commit to a larger minimum order than you would with a private label or white label option. Instead of it being ready in 30 days, you have to probably be looking at 4 to 6 months. If it's a completely new formula, if it's something similar to what your manufacturer has done, you can get that maybe 3 months if you're really pushing it, but it's a long process. And instead of just a few $1,000s to buy a couple hundred bottles, you're committing tens of thousands up front because the minimums are much, much higher. So that's why going custom formulas can really hurt you if you're not quite ready for it. I've seen founders sink 50,000 plus into their dream formula only to realize that their customers didn't line up for it because it wasn't exactly what they were looking for. It was just something that the founder thought was really cool and got emotionally attached to and sold themselves on it before they sold it to their customers. So here's the bottom line. Custom formulas make a lot of sense when you already have traction, you have a brand, you have an audience, you've got demand for your products, and you've gotten feedback from your customers on what they're looking for in that next product that you add to your line. That's when going custom can really be a game changer. Your audience tells you what they think is missing from your brand and also what's missing from the market, and you then go create that for them, and it's an awesome fit. But if you're starting from zero, it's usually better to hold off until you've proven the market with something simpler and built up that audience, built up that demand, and then receive the feedback from your audience to create your custom formula. So now I've kind of broken down both options. Let's put them side by side so you can really see the difference, right? With white label, the big wins are going to be speed and cost. You can be in the market in under 30 days and your upfront investment's only going to be a couple $1,000s. The risk is lower because the formula is already tested, but the trade-off is you're not as unique as you would be with a custom formula. And your differentiation comes from branding, packaging, and positioning, not the actual product itself. With custom formula, it's the opposite. You get total control. You decide the ingredients, the dosages, the delivery format. The uniqueness becomes your moat and differentiation. It's the reason that customers choose you over everyone else, but it comes with much higher stakes. You're looking at 6 months or more to launch, tens of thousands of dollars in upfront costs, and bigger risks if you haven't validated that product yet. The way I think about it's pretty simple. White label equals fast, lower cost, kind of training wheels method. Custom formula is unique, premium, high commitment, high risk. So neither is better in an absolute sense, but it's about which one fits you in the stage that you're in and what your goals are. So which one should you choose? What stage are you in? Here's the way I like to break it down, and I kind of help some of our clients go through it. If you're brand new to supplements, you don't have a huge budget, or you just want to test the waters, white label is going to be the smartest move to start. You'll be able to get into the market quickly, spend less upfront, and then most importantly, you're going to learn how to sell, brand, and market, which is the most important part of e-commerce in general. Actually getting people to buy your product, not just have a beautiful website, have really cool labels, have cool bottles. You actually have to get people to put in their credit card and purchase items from you. And white label lets you practice that without risking nearly as much. On the other hand, if you already have traction, maybe you have a community or a following and customers asking for something specific add to your brand, then custom formula might be the right move. That's when it makes sense to invest more, because you've got the demand to back it up, and that uniqueness of your formula can, really become that moat that protects your brand long term and gives your customers something unique and gets them coming back again and again for years to come. So think of it like this: white label is like renting an apartment. It's quick, flexible, and doesn't lock you in forever. Custom formula is like building your own house. It's an investment, it takes more time, but at the end of the day, it's yours, and it's something you can hold on to for a long time and holds long-term value. So neither path is wrong. The key is being honest with yourself of where you're at right now, where your brand's at right now, and where you want to be in 2 to 3 years from this point. So next, I want to go over a couple of the common founder mistakes. So before we wrap it up, let's quickly just go over a couple of the common mistakes we see, and then hopefully you won't make the same mistakes, right? The first one's thinking that a white label or a private label product is a lesser product, which just isn't true. It gets a bad rap sometimes because people think it's not unique, but it's really just a smarter way to launch your brand. The formula itself may be the same as what other brands are using, but that's fine. It gives you a trusted foundation, and what makes your product unique is how you present it and how you're selling it and marketing it to your audience. So your story, your branding, and the experience that you're giving to your customers. The second mistake is jumping into custom formulas too soon. I've seen people spend, like I said before, $50,000 creating their dream product, only really realize that their audience didn't even want it in the first place, or they don't have an audience for it and they haven't tested it properly. They burn through their capital before they have proven demand, and then they no longer have money for marketing and all the other expenses that come along with growing and launching a business. And the third mistake is underestimating all of the little details, whether it's packaging, compliance, or even minimum order quantities. Those details can really make or break your launch, and that's actually one of the reasons why on-demand fulfillment works so well. We give founders and new brands and existing brands ways to launch new products, avoid some of those blind spots, and focus on just building the brand and the marketing instead of having to do all the back-end warehouse logistical things, development with the manufacturers, and just working through all that red tape. Here's the takeaway and the summary. White label and custom formula aren't just two ways to make supplements. They're two very different paths for building a brand. Pick the wrong one and you can waste months and months of time and thousands of dollars, and pick the right one and you set yourself up for growth. And if you're a new founder just trying to test the waters with supplements, don't try to figure it out all by yourself, because that's what we do here at On-Demand Fulfillment. We have case study after case study of brand new clients coming to us, launching their brand, and within 6 to 12 months, they're doing hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue per month on their store. And it's awesome to see, and it's awesome to be a part of that. And we want to get more clients that we help grow from scratch and from nothing. And we'd love to add additional revenue streams to existing brands by then launching more products with us as well. So here's how it works with us. We give you access to close to 70 pre-formulated FDA compliant supplements that are ready for labeling and fulfillment. We take care of all the ordering and purchasing from the manufacturers. We keep them in stock here, and they're all blank bottle ready for your labels. Then we guide you through designing your label. You can even use our in-house designer who's been with us for 6 or 7 years now and designed thousands and thousands of labels, knows the game inside and out. And then we can directly integrate with your website to receive your orders and automate the entire process, so you don't have to be manually sending us spreadsheets of orders, emails with orders. It just happens automatically in the background. We try to make it as seamless as possible so you can focus on the marketing, the branding, the selling, the building of your brand. And from there, and as soon as we get an order, we handle everything, the packing, the labeling, and the shipping, and we ship it directly to your customers for you. It even has your brand name on the shipping label, so everything looks like it's coming from your brand, your warehouse, and makes you look very premium and legit. Let's see, we have no minimum order quantities, so you don't have to have that massive inventory sitting in your garage. There's no headaches. You just focus on the selling, and we take care of the rest. So whether you're testing your very first product or looking to scale into a premium brand, we can really help you with that without all the added stress and logistics. We'd love a chance to talk through what it looks like for you and your brand and answer any further questions that you have. There's going to be a link in the description below. Jump on a call with one of our sales team, and they can just give you a free kind of consultation and walk you through some of the best options. But beyond that, I hope you keep watching, and we'll continue to drop more videos and offer some additional free information that'll hopefully help guide you in growing your supplement brand. Until the next one.